Before we dive in, here's another show you can enjoy in the True Story FM family of entertainment podcasts.
Hey, movie lovers, I'm Pete Wright.
And I'm Andy Nelson. We are the hosts of the Next Reel Film Podcast.
If you're passionate about films like we are, you'll love our show. Each week, we dive deep into a movie, discussing everything from the story and performances to the cinematography and score.
Not to mention budgets and awards. We have covered iconic series like Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather trilogy, examining themes of power, family, and the dark side of the American dream.
We've explored the works of groundbreaking directors like Catherine Bigelow, discussing her mastery of tension.
We've looked at heist films, great car chases, great years in film, couples on the run, and more.
Our discussions go beyond the surface, examining what makes each film tick. We believe that when the movie ends, the conversation begins.
And we'd love for you to join that conversation. Find the Next Reel Film Podcast on your favorite podcast app or at thenextreel.com.
The Next Reel. When the movie ends,
our conversation begins.
Oh, there you are. I was hoping I'd cross paths with you today. I'd like to invite you to visit the Story Well. It's a place where storytellers of all stripes gather. From improv performers to authors, screenwriters to playwrights, we all tell stories. But we're not here to talk about craft. We're here to make something out of nothing. Each episode of the podcast, your host, that's me, sits down with a creative person, and based on a series of random prompts, we get elements that we make into a story. Will it be a noir novel about King Kong? Or a Broadway musical about JFK? Even we don't know. That's the fun part. But what do you get out of this, besides a good time with fun people? Simple. The idea is then yours. That's right. Whatever we come up with, we give it away for anyone to use however they'd like, no strings attached. It's like each episode comes with a free prize inside. The Story Well with Kyle Olson. We'll save you a seat at the table.
Ox Hare presents, in association with True Story FM, the Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society. Today's adventure, Those Who Favor Fire.
Goldie?
Oh, 5 more minutes.
Goldie, it's time to wake up.
What's going on? Where are we?
Why don't you describe what you see?
Okay, so it's dark. We're in what looks like a factory. You and I are hanging over a vat of, I'm guessing, molten steel? We're hung by our wrists, which are in some kind of weird manacles. And we're in matching pink winter parkas.
Very good. What else?
There's Zinnia. She's down on the main floor fighting a masked woman. She's doing great. Does she even know we're up here?
She does. That's excellent, Goldie. Your faculties are coming back.
That's good to know, I guess. And now, how the heck did we get here?
You don't remember that part?
I don't.
That's fine. It's a side effect of the drug. It should all come back. What's the last thing you do remember?
We had just eaten lunch. We were at a party. And then we were happy and sad at the same time.
That's right. Someone had just given us some news.
Oh, I'm fit to burst. I want to tell them.
If you want to tell them, you can.
But it's your news.
Please, ladies, someone needs to tell us something.
You go. You did the work.
Fine. Saffron, Zinnia, Goldie, I'm leaving the Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society.
Oh, man. I hate when they leave the nest.
I hope you don't feel like we've been pressuring you.
Oh, no, not at all. I wouldn't leave without a fantastic reason. And now I have one. I have been accepted to art school in Paris. I'm starting the next semester at... Zinnia, would you help me out here?
At Académie des Beaux-Arts. Very prestigious.
That's what we've been working on, making sure her application was unsinkable.
I'm so proud of you, Viviana. And a little bit jealous. to be around all those writers and artists.
Not to mention the half-naked models wandering around.
Hush you. If you'll allow it, we'd love to cover your tuition.
I couldn't possibly.
I'm going to stop you right there. You are kind and polite, but when someone asks to do something nice for you, just say yes. Take it from me, it's better to just accept the kindness.
When it comes to us, such a thing is unstoppable.
Very well then. I accept.
Whew. I was afraid I'd have to cover the whole thing myself. Mr. Dumaire was many things, but good with money was not one of them.
When do you leave?
Unfortunately now, the semester starts in a week. I've already got my ticket for the evening train.
Then let's get you packed up and on your way.
That's fine. I can see to it myself.
Listen up. I helped you on this path, and I'll be darned if I'm going to step off it now.
As my wife said, we are bursting with pride for you. However, there is something you need to know.
If this is about the birds and the bees, maybe it should be a little more private.
Don't have any additional information about birds or bees? Why would that be needed?
Go on, dearest.
You are about to have an adventure in a city full of excitement. We don't have many friends in Paris these days, so you will be on your own.
Oh, if this is supposed to be a pep talk, it's not going great.
If I may cut to the chase, the society is your home for as long as you'd like it to be. So go, live, love, learn, but know that you always have a place here.
Which means we expect to see you on holiday breaks. Unless you'd rather spend them with your boring family.
Well, they haven't. I don't really. I would rather be here. Please.
Then that's settled. We'll keep your room exactly as you leave it. You go set the art world on fire, and then you come back here and tell us all about it.
I would very much like that.
Perfect. This is supposed to be a celebration, so I need to get you out of here before everyone starts a-crying. Time to set sail for the future.
Oh, you all right, sweet Saffron? You seem upset.
I'm not. Oh, maybe I am. I am genuinely happy for her, but it's more change. Another thing I had gotten used to, suddenly altered. I don't know why it's affecting me like this.
I'm so sorry, my love, but I'm not going anywhere.
Me neither. You're stuck with us.
A trap? I'm happy to remain within. Yes, all that happened today.
That felt more like an ending and doesn't tell me how we got here.
That was in the afternoon. What about after that? Do you remember the woman in the fire?
The what?
It was later. The sun had gone down and Zinnia was acting odd. Zinnia, what are you doing out here?
Something's wrong.
What do you mean?
The air is strange tonight.
It's a bit chillier than I expected, that's for sure.
The wind's blowing in cold from both directions. Make up your mind, wind!
Saffron, why don't you get the parkas out? The ones we got on our trip to Annecy?
Annecy? I haven't thought about that in a long time. Wait, last time we were there... Zinnia?
Merely a precaution. Why don't you and Goldie wear them?
If you think so.
Oh, look at us! Looking pretty in pink. And twinsies!
Plus a little something extra. There's a little button on the belt.
What is it? Whoa! It's got an electric warmer in it?
It does. Kept us warm on some cold nights on the Alps. The fit's not bad either.
I'm not exactly her size. Oh, but what am I thinking? Zinnia, you should be wearing this. I can get a scarf or something.
No, I insist. Tonight is a good night for it. I'll be fine. I run hot-blooded.
It's true. She tends to sleep on top of the covers.
Huh. I expected there to be a saucy entendre there.
Apologies. It's just, I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Someone's setting off fireworks. Is it a holiday?
Nothing on my calendar.
Then let us join the party.
It wasn't a party, was it?
Not the kind we enjoy attending.
The smoke trails all lead back to here, but I don't see much of a celebration.
More pyrotechnics, forming an image in flame in the shape of
The letter F.
And in the fire, there is someone, a woman with a sword.
As entrances go, I gotta say, that's pretty cool.
So our educator finally makes an appearance. At last we meet, mask to mask.
Her mask looks odd, like it was hand carved or something. Is that moss? Any idea who this is?
Not a clue. Liberté?
Still a mystery, but not her demeanor. Her raised sword aimed directly at me. She may be silent, but her intention is clear. She wishes to challenge me to a duel.
Sorry, ma'am, but we come as a set.
Liberté.
Égalité.
What the heck was that?
Another fire a few blocks over. I think it's the orphanage.
Go.
Go? What do you mean, go? This is obviously a trick to split us up.
I know, but we can't take the chance.
I'm staying.
Should the danger to the people be real, 2 is better than 1. It's me she wants, and me she shall have, and live to regret it.
Liberté.
Fly, help, then return to me.
I will. We will.
And then we'll be back for you. Fern? No? Dang, worth a shot. This really is the orphanage. How did you know that from way back there?
What can I say? I like maps. We need to act quickly. We'll start on the top floor and work our way down.
Actually, I don't think we'll need to.
What? Why?
It looks like everyone's already out safe. Look, down there and across the street. That's Miss Kensington with the kids. She's waving and crossing her arms.
That's our sign for all clear.
You have a secret signal with the lady who runs the orphanage?
Yes, and not just with her.
Why?
Massalia is a unique town, and this isn't the first ne'er-do-well who targeted children.
That means this was just a wild goose chase. Zinnia could be in real trouble.
Blast it. Let's head back at all due speed.
Oh, wait, I see someone over by the chimney. Hey, little friend, did you get lost?
I don't think that's the... Fraternite, are you all right?
Oh, my aching everything. What was that? Did the roof cave in?
No, just one section. Luckily, there's no fire in here. Wait, why is there no fire in here?
Something's written on the wall. Kodal Go Sam? That's not French.
No, it's Gaelic.
You speak Gaelic?
No, but I can read it. And we need to get out of here.
Oh, what's that smell? Is that lilies? Oh, that's nice.
Fraternite, we need to get...
And that got us here, into the death trap.
Precisely. I woke up a little while before you. I've tried what I could to get free before you woke up, but all for naught.
Well, maybe I can still...
You're welcome to try. The cuffs are remote controlled, so there's no lock to pick. The chains are welded together, and even if we could get our hands free, it's too far to swing out.
I see. Why aren't you sweating as much as me?
That was my fault. I swung over to get to you and activated your coat's heater.
Why?
The good news is that heat stroke won't be what kills you today.
So, what do we do now?
We watch the show.
The show?
Look down there. We have a ringside seat to an amazing exposition. In one corner, you have our mysterious mastermind, her identity concealed, but her skill with a blade clear for anyone to see.
And in the other corner?
A true champion of the people. A red-headed whirlwind of destruction. Her talent with a sword matched only by her amazing appeal, elegance in every motion. Blind Justice weeps because she can't see the sheer beauty of her greatest champion.
Looks like it's gonna be a real slobber knocker.
Barn burner.
A Donnybrook.
Fight for the ages, to be sure.
The Steel Mill Slaughter.
That's really good, Goldie.
Can you tell me what we're seeing down there?
The challenger is really putting the hometown hero through her paces. She's relentless on the attack.
But Zinnia isn't letting anything through. She's using a defense I haven't seen before, swinging her elbows while keeping her sword across her center. Is there a name for that?
She calls it splitting the difference. And it's a move she doesn't break out very often.
It just goes to show you how deep her bag of tricks really are.
Looks like Zinnia has decided to press the advantage. She's on the attack.
With a move fans have come to love, a relentless series of stabs that we know as the amorous porcupine.
We do?
Just go with it.
Oh, right. Now she's keeping our mystery assailant guessing with alternating strikes above and below. Swings known as the headsman and the lumberjack.
And unbelievably, the two women have yet to draw blood.
Just goes to show you that they've put in just as much time on studying defense as they have on offense.
It looks like they might be taking a breather as they've now drawn back from the clash.
But no, a sudden flurry of attacks from Zinnia. Too quick to call out.
I can barely make out her sword. It's just a blur. Amazing.
Just look at her, Goldie. Look at my Zinnia go.
I know what you're doing.
What am I doing?
Distracting me from the truth. Pretty bad, right?
I've been in some scrapes, but yes, this is pretty bad.
Have you ever really thought...
Have I ever thought about how I'd die?
Yeah.
Of course. We've brushed up against death so many times. She's become a frequent visitor, but luckily never stays too long. What about you?
I never really thought much about it. Growing up, we were always trying to stay one step ahead of Johnny Law or some criminal we just scammed. I always thought of death the same way, that I'd always be a little quicker, dodge one more bullet, slip one more noose, and she'd never catch me.
I remember the first time death almost got me. It was so many years ago, but some things you never forget. We were up against this group called the Eschenfrauen.
What was their deal?
They pretended they were supernatural creatures, but in reality, they were a cult of women who would sacrifice people on Ash Wednesday to make the sun come up the next day. We fought them all through the night, keeping everyone alive until dawn broke, thus disproving their theory.
The fight got pretty bad.
It was early in our association, so I wasn't as skilled with the blade, and these ladies weren't very chatty. I was getting tired, I overextended when suddenly a blade swung at me from out of the dark. I barely got out of the way. It came so close, it cut the bun right off the top of my head. Hair flew everywhere, and that's when I saw it.
You saw her?
There she was, covered in mud and blood, sword in hand and fire in her eyes, racing as fast as she could to get to me. And that's when I knew.
That you wanted to be with her forever?
No, my heart had already decided that. I knew in a way that I still don't understand. I knew that sight would be the last thing I saw. Someday, hopefully far in the future, I would see her, my Zinnia, running to my rescue, and then it would all go dark.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get so morbid. I've been attempting to try to keep up your spirits.
No, I get it. Uh-oh. Looks like things are changing downstairs. We've entered into a standoff phase. It's too far to hear what they're saying.
And F's mask makes it impossible to lip read. But I recognize the body language of a villain's monologue.
What do you suppose they're saying?
Goldie, I know we've had some issues with telling each other the truth lately. So I put it to you now. Do you want the cold truth or a beautiful lie?
From you, I'd like the truth, please, and thank you.
F is going to kill you.
What?
She's going to try to kill you. This trap, the cuffs, she's setting this up to make Zinnia pick between us.
And Zinnia is going to pick you over me.
Of course not. We already talked about this possibility. We don't trade lives. But it's a rigged game. I'm a bigger card to play, so she won't sacrifice me first.
You knew this was going to happen?
Not precisely, but villains tend to fall into the same patterns. But I want you to know that we love you.
Of course. I love you both too.
And you know we'd never let anything happen to you. That we'd do whatever we could. Do you believe that?
I do. and I'm confused.
When it happens, when the cuffs open, I want you to go limp.
What? Why?
There's no time to explain. You want to kick and reach out for the sides, but don't. Be a rag doll. Fall. We'll catch you.
Saffron? Is this the end?
Not a chance.
When will... Ah! Oof.
Goldie, I have you.
Oh, good.
She's awake.
Am I dead? Is this heaven?
If it is, then they've certainly lowered their standards.
Ursula?
Welcome back, sweetie.
Oh,
Don't get up. You got a lot of bruises along your back.
what happened?
We caught you.
But how? You were all the way on the other side of the factory.
How much do you remember?
We don't need to go through all of that again.
I fell,
You fell.
but I didn't land. I stuck to the wall.
It was the coat.
Those coats were designed by Lady Linear when we were on friendlier terms. They provide some resistances and internal heating.
Which is powered by magnets.
We discovered this side effect when we ended up stuck to the side of a bateau sous-marin.
A submarine.
Ah.
That's why I turned it on while we were hanging. You dropped, but the magnets do what they do best. Find metal and stick to it.
You fell, but we caught you.
But how did you? When did you? Why did you?
Calculated risks, planning for possibilities, and not knowing if there were eavesdroppers around. Unfortunately, we couldn't save you from the bruising.
You'll be sleeping on your tummy for the time being, but I checked you over while you were out. No broken bones, no blood where it's not supposed to go.
That's good to hear. What about you, Zinnia?
A few cuts.
More than a few. More than cuts.
Fine, but I survived.
And I happen to think scars are sexy.
You gave me your coat
What?
that night on the roof. You knew something was wrong. You had two of these coats.
They are one of a kind. Well, two of a kind.
You were saving me even before I knew there was a threat.
It is just my way.
It's more than that. You can say it.
Oui, it is more than that. You are more than someone who needed our help, more than an employee, more than our friend.
You're more like a sister. At least, that's how I feel about you.
We are both only children, but this is how I believe it feels to have a sibling.
When we were up there watching you fight, Saffron doing everything she could to keep my spirits up.
She is very good at this, yes?
Extremely. But she was also telling me about your fight with the Ash Wednesday ladies.
Ah, yes. And may I say, I thought you looked lovely with the short hair. Very fetching.
Not sure I agree, but I appreciate the compliment.
We ended up talking about death, and I was just wondering, Zinnia, how do you think you'll die?
Last.
Last?
I had better die last, because if any of you precede me, I will charge into heaven or hell or wherever and fight anyone who stops me from bringing you back.
You saved me, both of you. You caught me.
What would the society be without our marigold?
A whole heck of a lot duller, that's for darn sure. Now, unlike most, I enjoy my sweet stuff with a little side of morbidity, but we've still got someone out there planning our doom.
Yes. Right. Zinnia, you were blade to blade with her. What did you learn?
That our mysterious friend remains mysterious. I have never fought her before.
You could tell that?
Oh, heck yeah. You can hide your face, change your voice, but combat shows who you really are. Better than a fingerprint it is.
Her face was concealed and her voice muffled, but neither one was familiar. But she seemed to know us.
Us who? Us, or you us?
Myself and Saffron most. Goldie less, and you and Viviana least of all.
So it's something about the two of us specifically.
Who would hate you this much?
That was the other odd thing. Intent in a battle has a kind of flavor. Fighting with my mother was a sick game. With Carmen Crimson and education, with others, you could feel the fear or the hate with every strike.
And with F?
None of the above. It was almost as if she were attempting to show off, to prove something to me or herself. She was a fearsome opponent, to be sure, but she was also putting on a performance.
She did have a captive audience.
50% of which she tried to kill.
I've put on a show of violence before and with similar unwilling onlookers. But who exactly is she performing for? None of this adds up.
Agreed. We're farther down the path, but still in the dark of the woods.
However, as I was given, so too did I give. I wounded her quite severely. As we heal, so too must she. I believe our next encounter will be much delayed.
Which means you all need to give yourself some time to heal. Let me see how those stitches are healing.
I will be fine.
I'll tell you what. Ursula, why don't you see to Goldie? She has trouble keeping still. So perhaps a dose of that stew you've been cooking all day, followed by a regimen of the new novels that just arrived.
Now that's my kind of medicine.
I concur with your prescription. But what about our other patient?
I believe I can nurse her back to health.
Did you say nurse? But you don't seem to be in the right attire.
I have the exact uniform upstairs, if you'll come with me.
Now hang on. I'm all for calisthenics, but this woman's been hurt.
Don't worry, doctor. While I'm known for my intense treatments, I have some other techniques that are much more prolonged.
Tell me more.
Some of them can last for hours.
I'm feeling better already.
I'll be the judge of that. Now be a good girl and do what you're told.
Yes, nurse.
Well, I'm afraid I have a different healing style than that.
I'm glad. That's the last thing on my mind right now.
Some folks fight through the pain while others fuck.
Ursula!
I'm just saying, different strokes for different folks. I'll get us something to eat. In the meanwhile, why not start with this one? Have you read it?
The Amorous Adventures of Valentine Vixen. No, I have not.
It's brand new. It's been the talk of the town. Nobody knows who wrote it.
Written by Lady X.
Exactly. I mean, I've read some scorchers, but this one's on fire. Check out page 23. That's where my bookmark is.
Okay, let me see. Uh-huh. Oh. Oh. Oh, whoa.
I know, right? I'll give you a few minutes while I get us some lunch.
Yeah, sounds good. Oh, one more thing.
Anything, hun?
Would you mind closing the door on your way out and knocking before you come back?
You got it. If you're interested, you might want to flip to page 57. That's where my other bookmark is. Just saying.
Will do.
And don't worry, I'm old, so I move slow. Who knows how long I'll be?
Yeah, thanks, Ursula.
See you in a few. Different strokes for different folks. Glad I bought a second copy.
Season 5, Episode 5, Those Who Favor Fire, was written, directed, and edited by Kyle Olson, starring Amy Shaw as Zinnia, Anastasia Plum as Saffron, Cara Gallo as Goldie, hey, that's me, Dolores Mendoza as Viviana, and Chrissy Lenz as Ursula. Our theme song is written and performed by Headley Knights, and our interstitial music is Intended Force by Kevin MacLeod. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Ox Hare so you won't miss the next thrilling adventure. The Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society is an Ox Hare media production. Old format, new ideas.
I get the idea, but putting this many popular search terms in one ad is... No, I'll do it. This is Kyle from TrueStory.fm, and I'm here to encourage you to become a supporter of our shows. You'll marvel at what a great deal it is from here to DC. If it's your election to pay just $5 a fortnight, you can get early access to ad-free episodes plus bonus content made just for members. Why, that's less than an espresso. You'll be a star. Wars have been fought over less amazing treasure. You look nice. Did you get a new tailor? Swiftly head over to truestory.fm/join to find out how you can become a member. It's a great place to be, your own personal pink pony club. Well, it's time for me to say goodbye when I'd rather say hello, kitty. Is that what you wanted?